HCTV Sports is supported by the Hastings Public House. Memories made local.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
Oh, was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike 3.
Double alley. Touchdown Raiders.
Welcome. We are broadcasting live from the Hastings Middle School pool. Tonight we have boys Raiders swim and dive versus the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. I tried to figure out the difference between the temperature outside and inside, and I'm going to guess it's somewhere like 80-degree difference. It's nice and warm in here, and we are glad that you are watching and joining us. My name is Julie Urban, and we are excited to bring you this meet. So tonight, the Hastings Raiders will be in lanes 2, 4, and 6, and the Raiders from Cretin-Derham Hall are in lanes 1, 3, and 5. So when you're looking at your screen, lane 1 is at the top, and lane 6 is at the bottom. Just a few fun things we can go over. Cretin is coached by Mike Steineman and Katie Steineman, Shannon Van Oosterom, Luke Schuster, Hannah Sobitz, and Ryan Bonakowski. Captains for Cretin are Matt Bumberger and Finn Doherty. And for the Hastings Raiders, coaches are Katie McAlpin, Brianna Arness, Sunshine Lewis, Lauren LeMay, and Dylan Anderson. And captains are seniors Adam Dewar and Tyler Wood. Actually tonight is senior night. You can see the posters there on the wall celebrating Adam Dewar and Tyler Wood. We have the first swimmers in the water. This is the 200-yard medley relay. We start with varsity and have 4 teams in the water. Again, Hastings is in lane 2, 4, and 6, and Cretin is in lane 3. So the medley relay, backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, and freestyle. Each swimmer will do a 50 of the stroke in the order of backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, and freestyle. So in lane 2 for Hastings, Kenrick O'Donnell. In lane 2, Taylor Schmaltz, Adam Dewar, and Cody Stewart. In lane 3 for Cretin, Jack Kirkberg, Isaac Van Oosterom, Matt Bumberger, and Finn Doherty. In lane 4 for Hastings, Thomas Foss, Isaac Schulk, Sammy Green, and Tyler Wood. And in lane 6 for Hastings, Kenny Andrea, James Jensen, Tristan Herbst, and Alex Culp. The third swimmer for each of the schools is just getting started. This is Matt Bumberger for Cretin-Derham Hall in lane 3, doing the butterfly, and looks like Sammy Green in lane 4 for Hastings. And Cretin has quite a lead at this point. This is their final swimmer, Finn Doherty. Hastings' final swimmer in lane 4 is Tyler Wood. Tristan Herbst is finishing the butterfly in lane 6, and up in lane 2 is Cody Stewart finishing the freestyle for Hastings. And this is Alex Culp, 7th grader, new swimmer. It's great to have new swimmers out for this team. He is lane 6, finishing the freestyle leg of the relay. Cretin did get first place with a time of 1:57.59, followed by Hastings in lane 4 with a 2:03.42. Swimmers crawl out of the pool and we'll get ready for the next event, which is the 200-yard freestyle. This meet will go fast tonight. Each team has, they're not big teams. I think there are about 15 or 16 swimmers for Hastings and rostered 11 or 12 for Cretin. And I think I counted that there were 8 swimmers for Cretin here tonight. So we will enjoy mostly varsity events. The 200-yard freestyle is 8 lengths of freestyle. The announcer, you can hear in the background, is introducing the swimmers. Alex Culp is in lane 2 for Hastings. Owen Sargent for Cretin-Derham Hall is in lane 3. In lane 4, Oliver Gergen for Hastings. 5, John Kovacs for Cretin. And in lane 6 for Hastings is James Jensen. 8 lengths. In the world of swimming, the 200 is still really considered a sprint. It's a long sprint, probably equivalent to about a 400-yard dash. Oliver Gergen in lane 4 has an early lead in this race. Followed by Cretin-Derham Hall in both lanes 3 and 5. In lane 3, that is Owen Sargent, and in lane 5 is John Kovacs. And it is going to be a battle for second place, I think, between Owen Sargent, John Kovacs, and James Jensen from Hastings in lane 6. Got 2 7th graders in the pool, James Jensen and Alex Culp in lane 2 for Hastings. Oliver is consistently at about a 30-second 50 and continues to lead this race in lane 4 for Hastings. You can see how close the swimmers are in lanes 5 and 6. Sometimes it's great to have someone right next to you to pace and to battle with. It certainly gives you something to keep swimming hard for. And it is shaping up to be the race of this race. Coaches and swimmers definitely cheering on. It is going to be a battle for third that will be won by fingertips. And in fact, it is very close. So Hastings, Oliver Gergen finishes the 200 in a 2:02.64. Followed by Cretin in lane 3, that is Owen Sargent. And James Jensen did outtouch John Kovacs, and Alex Culp is finishing his 200. Without much delay, we will get to the varsity 200 IM. Again, it's the 200, so the swimmer swims 2 lengths of each stroke. In the relay that we saw earlier, opening the meet, they swam backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle. But in the individual medley relay, or excuse me, the individual medley swim, you start butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. We have 5 swimmers tonight. Tyler Wood from Hastings in lane 2. Matt Bumberger for Cretin in lane 3. Charlie Jensen, Hastings in lane 4. Eli, and I want to say his name right, Eli Waklorowitz in lane 5 for Cretin. And Hastings in lane 6 is Cody Stewart. Matt Bumberger out to a quick lead in the 200 AM. He clearly has a strong butterfly. Each IM swimmer will tell you there's one stroke they like the most and one stroke they like least. I bet Matt likes to fly. Charlie Jensen is not far behind for Hastings in lane 4. And then up in lane 2 is Tyler Wood. Swimmers work really hard on their turns and underwaters, and the technique used for both of those is really important in gaining seconds in an event. There's lots of rules that you know, if you're moving forward with both of your hands at the same time in breaststroke or butterfly, you need to touch the wall with both hands at the same time. This is obviously the breaststroke. You'll see that as Matt comes to the wall, he hit it with 2 hands, did not do a flip turn. That's called an open turn. He heads the other direction. IM swimmers either love the breaststroke or they hate the breaststroke. Some coaches say IM races are determined by the breaststroke. Matt Bumberger is nearly a length ahead of the rest of the swimmers. He is clearly going to win this event. Charlie Jensen is predominantly a diver and is doing a great job for Hastings in lane 3. Tyler Wood up in Charlie is in lane 4 and Tyler Wood is in lane 2. We have Eli Waklorowitz in lane 5. And Cody Stewart, another 7th grader. Awesome to have young swimmers doing a great job in lane 6 for Hastings. Just about 12 yards left. Matt won that event in a 2:04.69. Swimmers are crawling out. We'll get ready for the next event. But before we do that and introduce the next event, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Hastings Public House, Memories Made Local. They're a great place to go for a warm dinner on a cold night. And we are grateful that they sponsor sports on HCTV. Memories Made Local at Hastings Public House. This is, I'm trying to see if we will have a JV heat of the 50 free, or we'll just go right into varsity. The 50 free is the shortest event in swimming. Down and back as fast as you can, and taking as few of breaths as possible. It looks like we're going right into the varsity 50-yard freestyle. We have a full pool. Carl Steinhoff for Cretin-Derham Hall in lane 1. Tristan Herbst for Hastings in lane 2. Jack Kirkberg for Cretin in lane 3. Adam Dewar for Hastings in lane 4. Finn Doherty for Cretin in lane 5. And Sammy Green, for Hastings in lane 8. Again, the shortest event, the 50. I believe the world record for this event is right around 18 seconds. The pool record is a 21:26, and the high school boys record is a 21:11. Those are fast swims, and they have held those records for a number of years. I don't anticipate that record's going to be broken tonight, but you never know. They're off. A tight race right in the middle of the pool between Tristan Herbst, Jack Kirkberg, and Adam Dewar. Closely followed by Finn Doherty, Sammy Green, and Carl Steinhoff. And it looks like Tristan Herbst for Hastings in lane 2 with a 24:82 wins this event, followed by Adam Dewar in lane 4, 25:03, and Jack Kirkberg for Cretin in lane 3 with a 25:15. Those are some fast swims. Diving is next. We're going so fast it caught me off guard. We will take a short break as they get ready for diving, and we'll be back. Thanks for joining us. HCTV live from Hastings Middle School Pool.
At Hastings Community TV, we have been telling the story of Hastings since 1983. By supporting HCTV, you are supporting weekly live high school sports coverage, community events, original shows like Take a Hike Mike, Man on the Street, Aprons Optional, and Around the Mic. You are also contributing to coverage for school events, graduation, prom, school board meetings, and the student-run broadcast journalism course, The Echo.
HCTV is your one-stop shop for all things local government. This coverage includes city council and other local government meetings, forums, PSAs, local news packages, and so much more.
HCTV also provides virtual alternatives to in-person viewing for notable events around Hastings. We make all of our content viewable to everyone by putting it on TV, YouTube, Facebook, and our website for on-demand viewing.
With more and more people cutting cable each year, a major source of our funding is continuing to decline. Your support is vital to keeping our small nonprofit sustainable. If you would like to give a donation, you can go to hastingstv.org/donate. To learn about our sponsorship program, where your business will be recognized in our programming, check out hastingstv.org/sponsors.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining HCTV Sports live from Hastings Middle School. Tonight we have the Hastings Raiders versus the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. And we are just about to get started with diving. We have two divers tonight, both from Hastings, Charlie Jensen and Thomas Voss.
Just a few reminders before we start. It is important that we be quiet when the diver...
The announcer here in the pool is reminding all of us, and it's kind of good to know, even though you're watching online and this won't be an issue, but divers really need it quiet as they are diving, certainly preparing and doing their dive. A lot of distractions are really hard when you're on the end of a very bouncy board. They're very focused. Charlie Jensen for Hastings Raiders. That was an inward dive in the pike position. 6.6.5 were the scores for Charlie. Thomas Voss is next. He will do dive 401C, an inward dive in the tuck position with a 1.4 degree of difficulty. Scores for Thomas's dive, 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Back to Charlie. Round two, he will do dive 403C, inward 1.5 somersault, tuck position 2.2. The name of the dive, either inward or back, reverse, forward, refers to how the diver stands and exits the board. Inward meaning facing inward. 5, 5.5, and 5.5. Thomas is doing the same dive. An inward 1.5 somersault tuck position. I once asked, Thomas is relatively new to diving, and I once asked his mom if he was enjoying it. And she said, well, he's been diving and jumping off things since he could walk. So there's not a lot of fear and a lot of guts to just try it. Scores for Thomas, 5.5, 6.5, and 6. Charlie comes from a family of many swimmers. I believe he is the only one that has taken to diving. That was a back 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. 6, 5 1/2, and 5 1/2, I believe, were the scores for Charlie. This is Thomas again. His third dive is an inward 2 somersault tuck position. Scores for Thomas, 4, 4, and 2 1/2.
4, 2 1/2. In round 4 is Charlie.
We'll start round 4. Charlie Jensen will do a reverse 1 1/2 somersault, tuck position, 2.1 degree of difficulty. Four and a half, 5, and 5 1/2 scores for Charlie.
Up next is Thomas.
Thomas's fourth dive will be dive 105C, a forward 2 1/2 somersault, tuck position 2.4. So if you do the math in diving, in order to enter the water with your head first and doing somersaults, you have to do a somersault and a half. So either a 1 1/2 or a 2 1/2 or a 3 1/2 to get your body around enough to enter the water head first. So that was a 2 1/2 for Thomas. Charlie Jensen round 5 dive is a forward 1 1/2 somersault with 1 twist in the free position. So the body position, either a pike or a tuck or free, I think, is about staying straight, maybe is the best definition. Scores 5, 4 1/2, and 5 1/2 for Charlie.
Up next is Thomas.
Thomas
51-32D.
is doing the same dive. Forward 1 1/2 somersault, 1 twist.
Free position 2.2.
Scores for Thomas, 5, 5, and 5. If you're curious of how dives are scored, judges look for height off the board, body position in the air, if they complete the dive, and how they enter into the water. The goal would be to enter the water so straight and tight that there is no splash, or very little. Six and a half, 6 1/2, and 6 1/2 for Charlie. That was his last dive, which was a forward 2 1/2 somersaults in the tuck position.
Final dive of the evening is Thomas. 203C.
Thomas will do dive 203C, a back 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. Scores for Thomas, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, and 4. That concludes diving. We will take a short break as the swimmers in the pool gets reset for the second half of our meet. Thank you for joining us live, HCTV Sports, from the Hastings Middle School pool.
I'm Cretin-Derham, and I live in Hastings, Minnesota. Right here in Hastings, Snapchat and other social media apps are being used to buy and sell illegal drugs, many of which are made with illicit fentanyl, like ordering a pizza. With a few keywords or emojis, kids can order what they think are legit prescription drugs, like Percocet, Xanax, and Adderall, and have them delivered right to their home. 4 out of every 10 pills found on social media are made up of deadly fentanyl. How do I know this? That's how I lost my big brother Devin on April 4th, 2020. A pill he and his friend got from someone on Snapchat was a fake. The Percocet they believed they were given was made with enough fentanyl to kill 10 people. Devin didn't know. Devin didn't want to die. If you suspect drug dealing is happening, you can leave an anonymous tip by using the tip 411 system in Hastings. Text the word Hastings and your tip to 847-411. Call 911 if you suspect an overdose is happening. Seconds count. Call United Way's 24/7 helpline by dialing 211 to find resource in and near Hastings. Contact United Way of Hastings or visit their website unitedwayofhastings.org for more resource or to make a donation. You can save a life by working with me and the United Way of Hastings to build awareness and reduce the stigma around overdose and fentanyl poisoning. One pill can kill.
Welcome back. We are live from Hastings Middle School pool. This is Julie Urban with HCTV Sports. Tonight, if you're just joining us, we have the Hastings Boys Swim and Dive team versus the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders as well. It has been an exciting night with acknowledging seniors, Adam Dewar and Tyler Wood. We had the first half of swimming and diving, and we are just getting set for the second half of the swimming events.
The butterfly, 100 butterfly participants make their way to the blocks.
The announcer is trying to get the teams ready to get started again.
In second place,
Results for diving.
with a score of 185.50. Thomas Foss.
So Thomas Foss was in second place with a score of 185 and a few other numbers that I didn't catch.
With a score of 210.25.
210.25 was the score for Charlie Jensen, who was first for Hastings diving. We'll start back this meet with the 100 butterfly, 4 lengths of butterfly. And if you wonder if butterfly is hard, it is hard. It is a demanding stroke throughout your entire body, arms, abs, back, legs, the whole deal. And great butterflies make it look so easy. We have 5 swimmers for the varsity 100-yard butterfly. In lane 2 for Hastings is James Jensen. In lane 3 for Cretin is Finn Dougherty. In lane 5 for Hastings is, lane 4 for Hastings is Taylor Schmaltz. In lane 5 for Cretin is Eli Wachlorowicz. In lane 6 for Hastings is Tyler Wood. This announcer just announced that this is Tyler's last individual event at the Hastings pool, as he is a senior, and this is the last home meet of the season. Again, 4 lengths of butterfly. Taylor Schmaltz in lane 4 for Hastings has pulled ahead a little bit, followed by James Jensen in lane 2 for Hastings, and Tyler in lane 6 for Hastings. Then we have Finn Dougherty and Eli Wachlorowicz for Cretin in lanes 3 and 5. You saw the 2-hand touch on the butterfly, an open turn. Taylor hits the wall at the far end down here with 125 yards left of this tough race, followed by James Jensen in lane 2. Finn Dougherty for Cretin in lane 3. Tyler Woods coming to the wall in lane 6 for Hastings, and Eli Wachlorowicz for Cretin in lane 5. I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Steineman from Cretin. He gave me and the announcer a little guide of how to say some of the last names of both coaches and swimmers, and it is really helpful. And I encourage you as coaches, if you happen to hear this, it wouldn't be a bad idea to use that advice and give announcers a little heads up on how to pronounce some of the last names that are more complex. We move on to the 100-yard freestyle. We have a full pool of 6 lanes, 6 swimmers and 1 in each lane. So for Cretin-Derham Hall in lane 1, for Hastings in lane 1 is Kenny Andrea in lane 2 for Hastings. It looks like we're mixing things up a little bit. Hastings is Isaac Schulk is in lane 2. Jack Kirkberger for Cretin in lane 3. Adam Dewar, senior, his last individual event of his high school, in this pool, not his high school career, in this pool, home pool. Adam Dewar in lane 4. Carl Steinhoff from Cretin in lane 5, and Sammy Green from Hastings in lane 6. 4 lengths freestyle, trying to get off the blocks as fast as they can. Underwater kick, streamline their bodies, come up and start swimming and kicking hard. It's going to be a tight race in lanes 2, 3, and 4. That is Isaac Schulk, Jack Kirkberg, and Adam Dewar. I missed the turn to see whose butt was up first. That's how I tell. It looks like Adam Dewar has a slight lead over Isaac Schulk and Jack Kirkberg. Adam flips first. We'll see who has the finish. I think Adam's going to hold on, and I'm thinking Jack might sneak in for second. And I am right. Adam Dewar wins this event, followed by Jack Kirkberger and Isaac Schulk. Then we have Sammy Green in lane 6. Carl Steinhoff is finishing his last couple yards in lane 5. And here comes Kenny Andrea in lane 1 for Hastings. Adam swam that 100 free in a 55:03.
Place for the 500 free. We need lane counters for Cretin-Derham Hall, lanes 3 and 5, and for Hastings is lanes 2, 4, and 6, please.
Nice job in lane 1 there. Kenny from Hastings. We will move on to the longest event of the night, the 500-yard freestyle. 20 lengths. That's 10 laps. Easy math. I can figure that one out. And we once again want to acknowledge our fabulous sponsor, Hastings Public House, Memories Made Local. They have great food and drink specials every day, and we are so thankful for their sponsorship of HCTV Sports. Hastings Public House. And the 500. We have 5 swimmers tonight. 3 for Hastings, 2 for Cretin-Derham Hall. We have Cody Stewart in lane 2 for Hastings. Owen Sargent, lane 3 for Cretin. Tristan Herbst in lane 4 for Hastings. Isaac Van Oosterom, I'm going to say that better. Isaac Van Oosterom. Oosterom. I'm going to get it on the 3rd try. For Cretin in lane 5. And Kenrick O'Donnell, lane 6 for Hastings. The 500 is a long event. Tristan will swim this in just around 5 minutes. Sometimes I laugh. When I was a young person, my brother swam the 500 as a swimmer. And honestly, in my memory, no offense to my big brother, but I really thought it took him about a half hour to swim this race, which is not true. He was a great 500 swimmer. His best time was probably a sub 5 minutes, but when I was young, it felt like a half hour. And as a parent watching, when you have a swimmer, sometimes it feels like a really long race. You know how hard it is. Tristan Herbst out to a very strong lead, holding a 29:21 as his split. That's a nice split. He'll try to hold those 29s or low 30s for his 50 splits. Tristan is followed by Owen Sargent in lane 3 and Isaac Van Oosterom from Cretin in lane 5. Next we have Cody Stewart in lane 2 and Kenrick O'Donnell in lane 6. This is length number 7 for Tristan. If you can see a view from at the far end of the pool, you can see that each swimmer has a teammate who's holding white placard which has numbers on it. The 500 is long enough that a swimmer could lose track of what length they are on. So these teammates hold a card to tell them what they're on, and that's also a way that coaches can communicate. If the number's upside down, go faster. If the number's shaking, go faster. Pretty much everything is go faster in a 500. We'll see what Tristan's split is here. A 30.78. Just for reference, the pool record is held by Jack Van Zee. He has both the pool record and the school record. I believe the pool record he has is a 4:47, and the school record is a 4:38. I can tell you that Tristan knows those times and is sure hoping in his career as a Hastings Raider swimmer, he might beat those times and get his name up on the board. Tristan loves to swim long distances and does a great job. I didn't see his split, but he is now at 13. There is a lot of strategy. It's always great. I said earlier, it's great when you have someone right next to you that you're pacing off of and you can push each other and keep working. But a lot of times 500 and distance swimmers end up swimming a lot of the race on their own. Distance swimmers, when asked, like, what goes through your mind during 20 lengths? Sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's just absolute nonsense. They try not to necessarily focus on what length they're on, but how they're feeling and their splits. In the world of swimming, a 500 is a distance event, there's no doubt, but it is not the longest. In the Minnesota High School League, it is the longest. But in the world of swimming, there's an 800, there is an 1,000, there is the 1650, that is the mile. Those are long events. The 1650 is 3 500s plus 150. Yep, I did some math there. Tristan is about to hear the bell over his head. The bell is shaken and sounded over the lane of the swimmer who is currently in first place. For a 500 swimmer, that is their favorite noise. Tristan will have a really nice time here as he flips at a 4:51. I don't think he's going to make sub 5, but it's going to be close. 5:04, 5:05 maybe. I think that was a 5:05. I'm wrong. 5:04.53. And of course, we have other swimmers in the pool that are doing a great job. In lane 3, lane 3, Owen Sargent is hitting the wall. He is done with his race from Cretin-Derham Hall. He'll be a 5:30-ish. Next will be his teammate, Isaac Van Oosterom in lane 5. He'll finish in a 5:54. And Kenrick and Cody Stewart from Hastings in lane 6 and in lane 2 have a few more lengths of their race. It's great to hear teammates cheering them on. This is a long race. Legs are tired, arms are tired, lungs, heart is racing. Cody Stewart is done up in lane 2, probably at about a 6:50 is my 6:49. And Kenrick is finishing up his last 50. Swimmers either love it or hate it. You're either a distance swimmer and your body was built for endurance and the ability to go the same speed, which is really fast, for a long distance, a long time, extended time, or you're a sprinter. And when your coach puts you in the 500, it's pretty much not your favorite. Kenrick will finish in just about a 7:35. Congratulations, swimmers. And we will move on to another relay, a 200 freestyle relay.
Pause here, as we did have some swimmers in the 500 that are also in the next relay event. So.
Oftentimes in high school meets, you could have swimmers who just finished the 500 need to climb out of the pool and be part of the 200 freestyle relay. There are distance swimmers that are so, amped and have such adrenaline that they actually swim a really fast 50 when it's their leg of the 200-yard freestyle relay. Hopefully these swimmers get to swim fourth in the teams of 4 swimmers. They'll let them catch their breath, and then it's time for the 200 freestyle relay. So 4 swimmers, each swimming a 50-yard. That's a down and back. If you're familiar with track and field, in a relay, there's the baton, right? The runners run with a baton and they pass off, and there's definitely rules, and you have to make the baton pass in, there's like triangles, I think, painted on the track is the passing zone for the baton in the relays. Well, obviously a swimmer's not gonna, have a baton to pass, but there are rules set up for relay starts and relay exchanges in swimming. And the rule is, it's pretty simple. The fingers of the swimmer in the water must touch the wall before the toes of the swimmer on the blocks can leave the blocks. So they practice relay starts, because your body can be moving forward before your toes leave the block. As the swimmer's coming to the wall, the timing is really crucial. If you've ever watched some of the Olympic swimming, the exchanges happen so very fast, and the relays are so close, or fractions of seconds, that someone starting just a fraction late can make a huge deal. So swimmers practice having one come into the wall, the other, jumping off the blocks, diving off the blocks. So relays are fun for swimmers. It's really exciting. You're swimming with your teammates. These go by pretty darn fast. So tonight, for the 200 freestyle relay, we have 3 teams from Hastings and 1 from Cretin. Hastings is in lane 2, 4, and 6, and Cretin in lane 3. For Hastings in lane 1, Alex Culp, Sammy Green, Isaac Schulk, and Adam Dewar. In lane 3 for Cretin, John Kovatz, Eli Wachlorowitz, Finn Dougherty, and Owen Sargent. For Hastings in lane 4, Kenrick O'Donnell, and Cody Stewart, Charlie Jensen, and Tristan Herbst. And in lane 6 for Hastings, Kenny Andrea, Tyler Wood, James Jensen, and Oliver Gergen.
And for Hastings in lane number 6, the team of Andrea.
Cretin is way out in front as their second swimmer, who is Eli Wachlorowitz. Is in the water. He's being chased by Sammy Green, Cody Stewart, and Tyler Wood. Third swimmer for Cretin is Finn Dougherty. Third swimmer for Hastings in lane 1 is Isaac Schulk, and in lane 3 is Charlie Jensen. I don't think one of these Hastings guys, they might have a faster swim, but I don't think that they can make up the ground that Cretin has put on, meaning that an individual swimmer might swim faster than an individual swimmer from Cretin, but the four of them together, times will be slightly slower and can't make up that time. So in the water for Cretin is Owen Sargent. For Hastings is Adam Dewar in lane 2, Tristan Herbst is in lane 4, and Oliver Gergen, the final swimmer for Hastings in lane 6, just dove in the water. So Cretin finishes first, followed by the Hastings teams in lane 2, 4, and 6. We only have 3 events left tonight. As the relay swimmers crawl out of the pool, we will get ready for the 100-yard backstroke. Backstroke, only event where the swimmers start in the water. It's kind of hard to dive. Most, swimmers aren't divers. It'd be a kind of a crazy start to dive off the blocks backwards. But before the backstroke, we want to make sure you know that our next live event, HCTV, will be live for boys hockey Thursday at 7:30. Hastings Raiders will take on Mounds View Mustangs. I was going to say ponies, but that is Stillwater, and I'm sure that'd be wrong if I said Mounds View ponies. So Mounds View Mustangs, 7:30. We will be live for boys hockey on Thursday. Back to swimming and backstroke. We have 5 backstrokers tonight, 2 from Cretin and 3 for Hastings. After they have been announced, the officials will have the swimmers jump on in and get ready. So backstrokers put their feet up on the wall, their arms on specially designed bars that are kind of underneath, you can see are underneath the starting blocks. As the starter says, take your marks, they pull themselves up out of the water as far as they can. And when the whistle blows to start, they arch their backs and try to dive in over the water. I can tell you from experience, it's not easy. Now, I'm a lot older than these swimmers. They made some starts look really easy, but regardless, it is definitely a skill. And Matt Baumgartner from Cretin looks like a strong backstroker and has a nice lead over Thomas Foss in lane 2, followed by Taylor Schmaltz in lane 4. Backstrokers, the flags across the pool here that you can see, they're for backstrokers. They can't see the wall, so they practice enough to know that maybe they have 4 or 5 strokes past the flags, at which point then they can flip over and do 1 stroke forward and either do an open turn or a flip turn. So Matt Baumgartner, I keep saying that wrong, Bumberger, sorry Matt, wins this event in a 59.98. Thomas Foss comes in at a 102.14, and Taylor Schmaltz is a 107, followed by John Kovacs with a 107. Am I saying? I might have gotten my stuff mixed up on that. I think Taylor was the 107. John Kovacs was after that a little bit, and then we have Kenrick O'Donnell in lane 6. 128 for Kenrick. That was the 100-yard backstroke. The last individual event of the night is the 100-yard breaststroke. Looks like we have 5 swimmers for the 100-yard breaststroke. Three from Hastings and 1 from Cretin.
For Cretin-Derham Hall in lane number 3, Isaac Van Ostrom.
So for Hastings in lane 2, we have Isaac Schulk. In lane 3, for Cretin-Derham Hall is Isaac Van Oosterom. For Hastings in lane 4 is Oliver Gergen. And in lane 6 for Hastings is Alex Culp.
And in lane number 6 for Hastings, Alex Culp.
We'll get this 100-yard breaststroke, 4 lengths of the breaststroke underway shortly. Believe it or not, the breaststroke is it is technically the most difficult stroke to put together. It is a pull, breathe, kick, glide, and it is challenging to get the timing right. Because as your body kind of pulls out of the water to take a breath, it's a little bit like putting on the brakes. Your body slows, your chest comes out of the water, and it's almost like hitting the brakes. So Oliver Gergen is just a little bit ahead for the first 50. Then Isaac Oosterom next to him from Cretin. And there's Isaac Schulk in lane 2. This could be a pretty fast finish. It'll be interesting to see. Breaststroke, you have to hit the wall 2 hands, open turn. You do an underwater pull and kick and shoot your arms forward. There's a lot of range of technique in breaststroke. Oliver and Isaac both stay very low to the water and a very efficient stroke. Oliver Gergen takes that for Hastings. I'm waiting for his time. It looks like a 1:13.75. Isaac Van Oosterom was a 1:15, followed by Isaac Schulk, a 1:18, and Alex Culp is finishing in lane 6. Congratulations, gentlemen. The final event for tonight. It is hard to believe we're already to the final event, but we are, is the boys. Obviously it's boys, sorry, I just read it. The 400-yard freestyle relay. We will only have 2 lanes of swimmers tonight for the 400 freestyle relay. That means every swimmer swims a 100. 4 lengths of freestyle. Looks like the swimmers are getting themselves ready. So we have 1 Cretin team and 1 Hastings team. Often by this event, or sometimes, by the 400 freestyle relay, teams know how close meet can be, and sometimes this event, can determine the winner of the meet. If the score on the scoreboard is correct, Hastings is leading by a score of 91-65. So regardless who wins this event, Cretin or Hastings, I believe Hastings will win this meet. So for Cretin-Derham Hall, we have 4 swimmers: Isaac Van Oosterom, Owen Sargent, Jack Kirkberg, and Matt Bumberger. And Hastings' 4 guys are Charlie Jensen, Taylor Schmaltz, Thomas Foss, and Oliver Gergen. I hope this is a really, really close swim because I find those exciting, and right now is sure starting that way. We have Charlie Jensen and Isaac Van Oosterom. Charlie has a slight lead as he comes in for his first 50. He'll flip and see if he can hold off Isaac. Isaac knows that he wants to put his teammates, both of these swimmers know they want to put their teammates following them in the best position they can. Coaches put together relays based on, obviously on times, but also who they might be up against. And there's always the game of who's going to be your first swimmer, who's going to be the anchor, the final leg. And that is Taylor Schmaltz diving in for Hastings in lane 4 and Owen Sargent in lane 3 for Cretin-Derham Hall. Both of these guys have very smooth freestyle strokes. Taylor continues just to inch a little bit, but Owen hasn't given up. For the second 50, Taylor will hit the wall with a 25 left. There goes Owen. And the third swimmers are getting ready for the exchange. Fingers and toes. This is Thomas Foss for Hastings and Jack Kirkberg. Thomas is an 8th grader. Jack is a 10th grader. Thomas practices more diving but has a history of being a great swimmer and looks like he is holding his own really well for Hastings in this relay. He has 50 left. Being cheered on by their teams. Jack does his final flip turn and kicking for home. Legs are burning and his coach tells him to kick even harder. Final swimmers in the water. Oliver Gergen for Hastings in lane 4, and here comes Matt Bumberger for Cretin. He's got quite a deficit to make up, but he is also moving. I think it might be a little too much to ask for, but we'll see. Matt has that nice kind of loping stroke and a really strong kick. He is giving it everything he has, and he is definitely gaining. Oliver knows he's right there too. I think they might. It is going to be a fast last 25. Let's see what Matt Bumberger might do here. Oliver is hanging on for dear life as Matt is plowing behind him. What a sweet. The split is a 26:40 versus a 28:91. Matt was plowing towards them. Oliver did a nice job of holding them off for the win for Hastings. Thank you for joining us. What a fun night. We're going to wait for the score, the final score. I'll just remind you that, again, we'll be live. Our next live event, next HCTV live event will be Thursday. Boys hockey, 7:30. Hastings Raiders versus the Mounds View Mustangs.
Thank you so much for coming this evening.
We are really glad you joined us. Hastings is applauding once again on senior night for our 2 seniors, Adam Dewar and Tyler Wood. Their last home event, home meet. 91 for Hastings Raiders and Cretin-Derham Hall, 73. Once again, thanks for joining us from Hastings Middle School. We want to give a little shout out to our production team. We have producer and director Hunter Pinky. I am Julie Urban. On cameras we have Ian Andersek and Max Slocum, and for graphics, our one and only Hunter Pinky. Thanks again for joining us. Enjoy your evening.